Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another quick mini episode on Uche's Quick Takeaway. For everyone who's been supporting me, thank you so much for your incredible support. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to my podcast, please make sure to subscribe, download, share with your friends and family. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment down below, and hit that bell notification so anytime I upload a video, you'll be the very first to be notified. So I do want to make a quick episode to add to a lot of the things that I've been talking about in regards to Nigeria. So one of my very last episodes, I did talk about how ENDSARS, or at least hashtag ENDSARS, isn't enough, and we need to do more. We need to channel that energy and channel that frustration towards the corrupt politicians. But I do want to add to that as well. I've been saying this for a long time. The problem we have in Nigeria is not SARS, is not the government. I think that the problem we have in Nigeria is us. The problem with Nigeria is Nigerians. Our mentality is so outdated, so archaic, and we need to get rid of it. I'm saying this because if we're going to try to change, if we're going to try to change things, if we're going to try to change the government, if we're going to try to change the system in Nigeria, we need to start with ourselves. I believe that the problem with Nigeria, the corruption with Nigeria, starts all the way back into the family units, all the way to the parents. I believe that a lot of Nigerian parents are so toxic. A lot of our parents are very, very toxic. And I know this for sure because I've seen a lot of Nigerian parents, the way they talk to their kids, some of the things they talk about, some of their energy is so toxic. But unfortunately, a lot of the kids just make a lot of excuses for their parents, absorb these things, and go into the world with these type of negative mindset, which definitely not only affects them in the long run, but also affects the relationships. And then also these kids grow up to have kids and pass these toxicities to these kids. I remember talking to a coworker of mine a few months ago, and she did mention something that I actually never really considered a while back, that Nigerian parents talk in the negatives. This is really, really bad. A perfect example, in America, if a kid comes home with a C, an American parent is more likely to be like, hey, good job on your C, but you could try harder to get a B or an A next time. A Nigerian parent automatically reprimands the kid, talks shit about the kid, says things like, look at your mates, how many heads do they have? Things like that. You reprimand your kid as opposed to uplifting your kids. It's very rare to see, maybe I'm the one tripping, but it was really rare to see a Nigerian parent actually uplifting their kid in some type of positive light. I know that's the case for me. And unfortunately for me as well, the reason why I'm able to see this for what it is because I grew up without having bonds with my parents. I didn't grow up with my parents, so I saw my parents for what they were. There was no bond, there was no type of relationship. Like I mentioned in previous episodes, I didn't meet my mother till I was 9 years old, and that went really bad. And because of that, I saw her for what she was. I didn't have that initial bond with her that a mother is supposed to have with a kid. So there was nothing clouded my judgment where my parents were. I saw both of my parents for what they are. And through the eyes of my parents, I'm able to see what's wrong with a lot of Nigerian family units. So again, the problem with Nigeria is us, our mentality, and I believe it starts in our family unit. So if we're going to try to fight corruption, if we're going to try to incite change, we need to start it in our individual family units. And this is what I've been talking about for a long time, that we need to challenge people, not just politicians, but also everybody, literally challenge everybody, including ourselves. We need to hold ourselves accountable because a lot of times we say a lot of problematic things. Nigerians, we have so many things wrong with us back in Nigeria. We're very sexist, we're very colorist, we're very homophobic, we're very closed-minded, we're very backward in our thinking, we're overly religious. There's so much wrong. I believe that the reason why a lot of people are protesting this ENDSARS thing, which I really do appreciate, by the way, I really do appreciate this ENDSARS thing, but I believe that the reason why a lot of people are protesting this ENDSARS thing is because everybody's affected, both rich and poor, men and women. And literally everybody's affected. If it were just one group of people that were affected, if it were just criminals that were being killed, or if it was just gay people that were being killed, or maybe kids that were just being killed, nobody would care. But because literally everybody is affected, everybody is protesting, which I do appreciate, again, that people are protesting, people are rising up, basically challenging the government. Because in my opinion, I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg for what's to come. For 60 years, we've done nothing, and our government has been taking advantage of us, our silence, our meek mentality. And it's good to know that we have Nigerians, both old and young, who are willing to stand up for what they believe in. And I really do appreciate that everybody is literally getting on the streets and protesting. I do appreciate that, and more is to come. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, yes, ENDSARS, yes, challenge our corrupt politicians, yet challenge our government. Yes, I do believe in all that. I do appreciate every single one of that. Keep challenging them. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the problem starts with us as individuals. We need to go back to our individual family units and start fighting the corruption, because corruption seeps all the way down to the level. These people, the SARS people, the government people, these are complete representation of Nigerians. Everything wrong with Nigerian government and everything wrong with SARS is found in every single Nigerian individual. We have corruption in our bones, and we've so comfortably conform to this as default, as it is a way of life, as though it's tradition. So we need to start with ourselves, our individual families. And this is why I keep saying, before you have kids, you need to heal from your hurt so that your kids don't have to heal from having you as their parent. There's a lot of brokenness in Nigeria. There's a lot of physical brokenness, mental brokenness, spiritual brokenness. And another thing too is that we're not getting real about mental health problem. Mental health problem is so big in Nigeria. So big. I've met a lot of Nigerians who don't believe that mental health is a problem. They keep deflecting as though it's an American problem, that is not a real thing. But in reality, every single thing we do spills and speaks mental health problem. And this is why we need to get real about some of these things instead of just deflecting as though they're not anything serious at all. To reiterate, I do believe in ENDSARS. I do appreciate it. I do believe in challenging the government. I do love the fact that Nigerians are finally waking up, which is something that I've been praying for a really, really long time. I really do appreciate that. But at the end of the day, the problem with Nigeria is Nigerians, starting with our mentality. We need to, if we're trying to change things, if we're trying to challenge the status quo, if we're trying to make things, steer things to the positive direction, we need to start with our individual selves, starting with our family units. We need to challenge our mothers, our fathers, ourselves, our siblings, all these aunties, all these uncles that spill toxicity in literally everything they do, because our Nigerians in general, an individual Nigerian, the general Nigerian is very toxic. We need to fight that toxicity. We need to fight that archaic, backward mentality that has been passed down to us by our parents. Because at the end of the day, heaven helps those who help themselves. And if you watch the last episode that I made, I did attach an interview where the guy said that even if you replace the SARS and replace them with another group of people, they're going to do the exact same thing because the key ingredients are still there. We cannot change things if we don't change ourselves. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, this is the end of today's episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate your continued support. If you're new to my podcast, please make sure to download, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. If you're on my YouTube channel, please comment down below. Do you agree with me that the problem with Nigeria is Nigerians, specifically our mentality, and if we're trying to change things, we need to start from our family units and challenge our individuals. Hold everybody accountable, hold our parents accountable, hold our siblings accountable, and most importantly, hold ourselves accountable so that we don't keep spilling the same toxicity that's been passed down to us from generation to generation. And if you don't agree with me, please also share your thoughts down below. I really do want to hear from you. Thank you very much. Until next time. Bye-bye.